It's why somebody will be like, "Did you get fired yet? Have you been impacted by everything? Have you been laid off? Why the fuck would you want me to lose my job? And you know I got 4 kids."
Well, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again.
From my understanding, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that all federal workers need to be fired. Pretty much that they don't do shit.
The 2025 job market is absolutely brutal and it's not going to get better.
Hey fam, welcome or welcome back to Did You Hear? Listen, today I want to get into these mass layoffs of federal workers and really just the layoffs of everybody across the board in general. I know my daughter got laid off within the last couple of weeks, so it is really it's really hitting home. It has reached my front steps, and it's very sad. From what we're seeing, thousands of people have been laid off already, and according to the news out here, there are many more coming. This government is just proving itself to truly be heartless. You're laying off people left and right. These federal workers need their jobs. All of us need our jobs. But you're laying off these people and then taking away the programs that would help people that are really going through at this time. Like normally you could get food stamps. People are saying that their food stamps are getting cut off. I know folks, people who have earned their Social Security and are sitting back, they were sitting back drawing their Social, can't even get that. Like, it's bad out here. And I just know when it's time for me to get my Social Security, it's a wrap. I don't think it's going to even be around then because they are trying like mad to dig into that. And I'm just like, boy, the oligarchy is evil. Y'all, these people are already millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires even. We can't have nothing. Like, y'all got to go into our Social Security. We just can't have nothing. We can't have our checks, the money that we do when we do have jobs and we work. They drive us like slaves, work us like slaves out here. Take all of our money with bills and rent. So the little money that you're depending on, besides if you have a pension or you have if you are able to save some kind of savings or something, the little Social Security you do get, they're trying to get that. They really just want to see us all destitute. They don't want us to have a thing. And these mass layoffs, y'all know, these have a rippling effect. This stuff not only affects your family, it affects your communities, it affects the businesses, the small businesses, all of this stuff. The stores, the restaurants, because people can't shop. They're not going to go out and eat, and they're not going to shop like that if they don't have any money. People start battening down the hatches. People start fastening those coin purses up tighter, pulling on those strings, those coin bags, tightening them on up, fastening them. Nobody's gonna be out here spending extra money like that, and you're trying to hold on to every cent you can because you don't know when you're gonna work again. This job market is crazy, and it just creates a domino effect. It leaves everybody, just leaves the communities, the families, businesses, everything just desolate, struggling to recover. So y'all, this is truly terrible. It's terrible. But with that, let's take a look at this compilation, all right? Okay.
Okay, so am I the only one that got laid off maybe 2 months ago and thought that they were going to be the exception because you've been applying to jobs all day, all night and thought you were going to get a job real quick, but you're almost on month 3 and you still haven't heard anything. So like one day you're like, it's okay, the right job is going to come at the right time. And then the next day it's like, damn, nobody wants you? Like, are you a failure? I says, did you even do a good job? And the next one, it's like, it's okay because this is the time that you put yourself first. You know what I'm saying? This is the time that you go after everything that you say you wanted to go after, like being a content creator, for instance, because you're on like day 35 or something like that. But then at the same time, you then realize like, wait a minute, no money, no job, still sitting here feeling to be a big TikTok creator. How do I keep going? How do I keep pushing through? Help me.
America is going downhill. I think we're about to witness one of the greatest recessions of all time. Across the country, there has been mass layoffs. The inventory in the real estate market has been increasing, and the median home sales have been going down. So you're seeing a lot of people list their properties just to cash out on the equity that they've gotten over the past couple of years. It's crazy what's going on right now. And then there's not a lot of job opportunities. So a lot of companies are dissolving these jobs and they're dissolving programs. So that's going to leave a lot of people either in the foreclosure or it's going to make the inventory increase. But the only people that may be able to grab that inventory is people that are coming from states where the cost of living is a lot higher, or people who are buying those houses with cash. 70% of America is living in paycheck to paycheck right now. They're struggling. So who's going to buy these properties? The big corporations and the huge companies. That's who's going to buy these properties. So right now, as you can see, the middle class has been completely dissolved. There is no more middle class. Either you're in the higher upper class or you're struggling. So what's the next move? People are saying that you can't invest in the stock market right now. The crypto market is shit. So what can you do? My plan is to move to Africa. That's it. I'm getting out of here.
It's why somebody will be like, did you get fired yet? Have you been impacted by everything? Have you been laid off? Why the fuck would you want me to lose my job and you know I got 4 kids? Why? Like, don't call to check on me and lead with that type of shit. Don't call my mama to check on me and lead with that type of shit. You can save all that negativity. This shit happening to the federal employees is real as fuck, and I don't need your negative, lingering ass spirits, your hating ass spirits. So if you an auntie, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, whomever, don't worry about me, sweetheart. Don't worry about me.
So I'm here at the VA again because this is where I work. Change that. I worked past tense because right now it's 2 o'clock and I just got notified that my position is no longer valid. And so I am going to go turn in my laptop and go home. Again, my performance was not good enough, even though when I talked to my boss, they absolutely, everybody I work with, including my boss, absolutely loved the work I was doing. But it was nice being here, helping out veterans every day, day in and day out, and doing a good job for my fellow patriots. It sucks, you know. I'm not a Trump supporter, never have been, definitely never will be. But yeah, this is definitely taking a meat cleaver to the entire federal government. And I know my specific position, I was helping veterans and their families seek end-of-life services, mainly making burial arrangements on their behalf, and actually doing funeral services for them. So yeah, it was actually a rewarding job, and look forward to having a good career doing something impactful. And I guess that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to go turn in my laptop and call it a day. And so I just wanted to say again, thank you, Trump. Thank you, President Musk. Let's make America great again, and fire everybody who is a hardworking, you know, somebody who just wants to do a good job for your country, and be a good employee and help out. So yep, going home, and wish me luck in the job hunt.
From my understanding, Marjorie Taylor Greene said that all federal workers need to be fired. Pretty much that they don't do shit, that they're worthless, and that they don't need their jobs. But am I mistaken? Isn't she a federal worker? Or is she called a government worker? Is she not a federal worker? What is she? What is she if she's not a federal worker? Then she needs to be the first one to go. Somebody pack up her shit, empty her desk, and kick her ass out. She needs to go like ASAP, like yesterday, like last year. Get her the ass out.
So, I no longer work for that big healthcare company I used to work for. Surprise, surprise, but not really. I got fired by a single dude that builds Legos and cried during meetings. I was specifically told, and they did try to emphasize the fact that I was not terminated for the videos that I made. However, I'm a top performer of like 3 years. I don't know what they could have fired me for. They actually didn't even tell me in the meeting. But that just goes to show, man, they don't like what you say or do outside of work. They gonna get rid of you, and it didn't come as a surprise, right? There's no "I told you so." I'm a grown man. I think we're all grown, and we know exactly what we're doing. But I did wanted to share. Did want to share. Make sure that you're not posting who you work for in these comments because they are watching these videos. And yeah, legal action may be coming soon.
Well, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again. Twice in a year. And, what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now. So, we're gonna lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low-key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this so that we have to rely on other things, other people. It's fucking shit. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. I'm tired of my livelihood being in other people's hands. And I have no idea how to fix that, but I'm going to, because this is just wild. And I'm fucking angry more than I am hurt or sad. I am scared. I have no idea where any of my bills are gonna come from, the money. I'm more angry than anything because I just cannot even believe I used to be able to get a job like the week later if I got laid off. So I have no idea what's gonna happen, and I was really hoping at one point I would make money on TikTok, and I still only have 1,500 followers or whatever. So if you could just blow this up and let's get 10,000 followers plus whatever, because I might be homeless in a week or two if I can't figure it out. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a great Tuesday, a way better Tuesday than me. And if you have any tips, tricks, or whatever to help right now and get me through this, greatly appreciated. Yeah.
Hold up. So the IRS, the same agency that's been on our necks since day one, is about to lay off 15,000 employees during tax season? Bruh, let's break this down. 17% of their workforce is getting the boot. While we out here struggling to file our taxes, they're still processing 2025 tax returns. But these employees can't even qualify for the buyout package, aka severance. And guess what? These layoffs just happen to start right after they start processing our tax money. So wait, you mean to tell me the same IRS that's been hunting people down for unpaid taxes is now tossing their own people to the curb? But don't worry, they still collecting your money. But let's be real, something ain't adding up. Where's all the taxpayer money going? How they get trillions for war, but not enough to keep their own staff employed? We getting scammed in 4K. You see the game now? The system don't even care about its own people. What makes you think they care about you?
So it just came out that the Trump administration is preparing for mass layoffs and firings in mid-March of federal employees. This is on top of the people that they've already fired that were in their probationary period, because frankly, from a legal perspective, it's the only people they could get rid of on the short term, which is already in the thousands. And it sounds like we're talking about tens of thousands of federal employees that are about to be terminated. And before you cheer that and say it's a good thing, consider this. We have federal employees in all 50 states. So when people in the tens of thousands get fired, that means all of those people are all of a sudden going to lose their income, which means they're not going to restaurants, they're not buying things, they're not shopping, they're not putting money in the economy. On top of that, it's going to make it harder to get things out of the federal government that we rely on all the time. It's going to be slower to get your tax filing come April. It's going to be harder to get somebody on the phone to answer questions about Social Security, Medicare, which is already a nightmare. It's going to get worse. And what is the federal government, the Trump administration, going to do with these savings? They're not going to be giving it to you. They are doing this so that their tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires don't blow up the deficit. But the problem is the tax bill is $4.5 trillion. So even with these savings, it's going to explode the deficit. So the Trump plan is to kill local economies by firing thousands of federal employees and then passing a tax cut that millionaires and billionaires will get, and you will get nothing. So we will have a worse economy and a government that is less able to help us out. This is going to be a disaster.
What happens to America? Should we be worried about political violence, civil war even?
Hell yes. And I think when it warms up, I think this summer is going to be violent. I think Americans are going to take to the streets. There's part of me that believes Trump wants Americans to take to the streets because Trump wants to use the military. But he will defy court orders in a very public way. And again, Congress won't do anything. So then what happens? Congress then can issue contempt orders on Trump. But then we're technically really in a constitutional crisis. And I think then, look, if the courts right now are overwhelmed, if we have a Congress that won't do squat, again, we need an opposition party, and I don't really see the opposition party.
It worries me, obviously, that you were so instantaneous to say hell yes when I said you worry about civil war. That's quite a big statement. Some people say that's hyperbole. It's alarmism. A lot of Americans, you go outside the studio, streets of DC, people just living their lives. They're walking around fine. They may not like Trump. They may think he's a buffoon. They might be slightly worried about some of the stuff he did. But most Americans are pretty complacent, I would argue.
The MAGA base, and I think your listeners need to hear this because I still engage with them every day, they're welcoming violence. Like they want the left and Democrats and ordinary people to say, this is crazy, let's take to the streets. Trump wants violence. MAGA wants violence. I just don't think the American people fully understand kind of this unprecedented moment we're in.
It is February 27th, 2025, and here's an updated list of layoffs happening in the federal government. It is long, so you can tap in the upper right-hand corner and hold it down to speed up the video. USAID has fired or placed on leave 5,600 employees, and thousands of employees were told today that they had 15-minute windows either today or tomorrow to clear out their desks. The IRS is closing 110 offices around the country, which will result in 7,000 employees being laid off. The Social Security Administration has been instructed to cut its workforce in half. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission could face a 90% reduction in staff, which amounts to somewhere around 2,100 people. The Environmental Protection Agency has been told to cut its staff by 65%, which equates to around 11,700 employees. The National Highway Traffic Safety has laid off 4% of its staff. FEMA is expected to be eliminated entirely, but currently DOJ is conducting a review of FEMA operations to determine how many people to let go. TSA has fired more than 240 employees. Office of Community Planning and Development, which is part of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, has cut the office by 84%, laying off 786 employees. The FAA fired 400 employees. The Department of Defense began laying off probationary workers, which equates to approximately 5,400 employees. NIH has laid off 5,200 probationary employees. Department of Energy has laid off 2,000 probationary employees. Department of Education laid off dozens of employees. Department of Veterans Affairs has let go of more than 1,000 employees. The U.S. Forest Service fired more than 3,400 employees. The Small Business Administration terminated some probationary employees, but we don't have an exact number. Office of Personnel Management let go a bunch of people. We don't have an exact number on that. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau let go of 73 of its staff. The National Nuclear Safety Administration has fired hundreds of employees, and the General Services Administration let go of 100 employees. NOAA is set to slash jobs imminently.
I got laid off and I still don't have a job almost a month later. Let's talk about it. To update my update about unemployment, I finally started receiving unemployment. So that helps me feel a little bit more financially secure. However, between my rent and my car payment, that absorbs almost an entire month of unemployment. But this is why I have an emergency savings. My husband's also there to help me out. So I think we're gonna be okay, but I need to get a job ASAP Rocky style, you know? Last week I had what I thought was a super great interview with a tech company, and turns out I didn't get the job. It was down to me and one other applicant, and unfortunately that applicant just had more experience than me, and that is literally the sole reason why they took him. Or that's what they said. So I have an interview today, an interview tomorrow, and an interview on Monday or Tuesday next week. That one hasn't been scheduled quite yet. So I'm hoping out of these something happens. You know, at this point, I'm willing to take a pay cut from what I was making, just so I can get a job. You know what I mean? I think that's what's most important, and then I can just keep looking. I don't know. But yeah, the job market is not fun. I'm not having a good time, and I don't wish this on anyone.
Headed towards a recession. That's what I want people to understand. I don't mean to be gloom and doom, but when you have somebody that is firing people from the 15th largest employer in the world, which is the federal government, and then when you are saying, let's kick out these amazing people that have actually contributed to our country in the form of building our homes, as you're complaining about the cost of homes, when you're talking about people that are going and working the farms, as you're complaining about the cost of food, as you're getting rid of people that are working on bird flu, and you're like, oopsie, didn't realize that's what you were doing. We are living with this incompetent administration that is literally driving us to a recession at warp speed. And all I can say is hold on to your money and make sure that you have a way to make money even if you lose your job, because there are people that believe that, oh, I don't work for the federal government, so I'm fine. But that's not the case. We just saw the Southwest Airlines did the biggest layoff that they have ever done in its entire existence. We continue to see private industries laying off. So many private companies rely on federal dollars.
I lost my job on Monday. No, I'm not a federal worker. I worked in healthcare and I work from home. This is not a small company. This is a company like United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Don't want to really specifically name my company, but yeah. So some of these healthcare companies depend on government subsidies to keep things going for their members. And my company was one of those. Back in November, right after the election, we had a meeting and they told us like, hey, we might be doing some layoffs and some terminations. However, we don't know yet. We're playing it by ear. Well, the day after the inauguration was the first meeting. If you received that email, you were let go. So people lost their jobs. I'm not sure how that was picked, because some people that got to stay had issues like were not hitting their metrics, and some people that left had no issues whatsoever. But they have said that they have not received any unemployment, anything of that nature. Now, with me, they told me I was eligible for unemployment. I'm not sure how that's going to work, since the people who's been gone since January said they ain't received a dime. A little context to this is I started this job back in March of 2024 and was in training until June of 2024. And they told us that, hey, after you've been here for 1 year, you're going to start doing some of the harder work, working in some of these government systems where you're going to have to get approved to even use these systems and things of that nature. It was all a lie. From June 2024 until like November 2024, I was trained on everything within my department. And by December of 2024, I was being required to hit all the metrics for everything within my department. On top of that, I was also selected every single time for every pilot that was sent out for us to try things out while still doing my job, while still hitting my metrics. And yeah, these are the same things that people that have been there for 5+ years, they're doing it, and they're expecting us to have 100% doing it. Said all that to say this is not to scare you. This is just telling you to be proactive. Once they told me that it was possible layoffs happening, I went and updated my resume. I started applying for different positions. The same day that I got let go, I had an interview that day, because I had already been applying. I'm not sure if I got the position or not. No, I'm not a big creator, so I don't get paid a lot of money off of here. This will be my first actual whole month in the creator program. I've never been in the program for a month yet. So I am prayerful that I'll find something else. But until then, y'all will just be seeing my face, because I can't let the depression and stuff kick in. I have to keep going. So I'm encouraging all of you all to do the same. Everybody who's lost your job, everybody whose job is in jeopardy, keep pushing. We got this.
The 2025 job market is absolutely brutal, and it's not going to get better. A lot of us already knew that the job market was, shitty in 2024, starting late 2023, somewhere around there, mid 2023 or so. But now it has just completely fallen off a cliff in the last 3 or 4 months. And then on top of that, now you have all the government layoffs, which is adding fuel to the fire. If you ask me what I think will happen to the job market in the next 6 to 12 months, I think we're going to see a sharp rise in layoffs in all sectors. Like, up until now, most of the economy was doing fine, except for maybe tech and some tech-related industries. I think layoffs will accelerate in other fields outside of tech in 2025, and we're already signs of that. With bankruptcies rising, warehouses closing down, manufacturing just slowing down, coming to an absolute, levels that we have not seen since the GFC. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty rough for a lot of people in the job market. So let me know what you guys.
And so, guys, at this point, all we can do really is just hope and pray for the best and try to be prepared, because short of busting people upside the head, I don't know what folks are fixing to start doing to get money. I can just see it coming. When people start getting desperate and they run out of options, this is low-key scary, y'all. It's really scary. Did y'all see right there that little clip I inserted of that lady saying how many people had gotten laid off in the different federal departments, the different departments across the United States? That is a lot of people, y'all. Now, that's the new stuff. That's not even counting all the people that's been unemployed all last year that was waiting, and all the people that were searching and dealing with the job ghostings and all that stuff last year. This year is a whole nother round of something different, just a whole new influx and flood of unemployed people, laid off people. And I'm just like, what's going to happen? Y'all, all we can do is get prepared. Like I said in a previous video, I've started my little inside garden. I've got my seedlings going now. And y'all, I didn't know I loved gardening so much. Like, this is just the seedling phase. This is the part where I'm just getting prepared for the season. So I'm excited about that. Real happy that I finally got up and got started. Gardening is one of those things that I just, throughout the years, I always said, I'm going to do it one day. I'm going to do it one day. And it's crazy that it took this. It really took a fear of lack of food later on within this year and next year, that, the fear of not having made me go and say, what, let me go on and do something. But I guess better late than never, better late than never. But yeah, if y'all hadn't gotten y'all seedlings going, I would encourage everybody going and start working on stuff independently so that you will be able to feed yourself and your family. Like I said, I know of people that have even said that even though they are living out of their vehicles now, they are doing what they can to start little gardens and stuff and grow food even inside of their vehicles. So we're doing what we can out here. I don't know where I may be before all this is over, because I am also a federal employee. I am a federal employee, and if you look at right where I'm at, I am kind of considered probationary. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But I'm not going to live in fear. I'm going to trust God and do what I can to prepare. Also do what I can to help my family, and help others as much as I can. And that's pretty much all we can do, y'all. Let's try to be as prepared as possible. That's really all we can do. So for now, I will sign off. And I also want to say to my people who are interacting with this video, again, thank you. Thank you for everybody that likes, that comments, that shares, that subscribes. Thank you for all 9 of my subscribers. I thank you guys for taking the time out to hit that subscribe button. Anybody that hits the notification bell, that cares to come back and support, thank you for that. As I always say, any interaction that you have with this channel always helps. I do not take anything for granted. Thank you. If you comment, I will respond. Thank you guys. And until next time, bye-bye.